Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome back. It's been a minute. I know. I know. I know. It's been a long minute. Thanks for having me. Thanks for allowing me here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me now. Let's go to it. Where my people's at? Where my tools at? I'm gonna wait for y'all to get in the room. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into it. Hope everybody's been well. Wonderful in your lifestyles. Definitely doing what you need to do. We're gonna get into rites of passage today. We're gonna get into rites of passage today. Are they still available? Are they still needed? If you can, wake the person next up to you. Wake the person up next to you. And welcome to the Daily Matter Chit Chatter, Earthly Matter. Are you ready for Omega Sun's divine data? That's what we'll be trying to find out. Um, and we're going to move accordingly. So give it a few minutes and we get my notes together and we're going to return. Rites of passage right away. funny. Salute, beloved one. Boyle Jennings in the building. Yes, Ali the Sag. Beautiful women indeed. Beautiful spirits, souls. Let me see if I can get into the chat real quick. Talk about rites of passage. Rites of passages. down in the chat. Let's talk about it. Interaction is key. Interaction is key. Welcome, welcome. Long ass intro. All right. Welcome and wellness and oneness to you and yours. Well, this is Omega Sun's Light, also known as True Omega Sun 88. And thanks for vibing. And you see the topic. We're going to speak about the rites of passage. They're still available. And basically, can we, exist on a vibe where we can use those graduations to grow? Now listen, when I first started out into any type of activism or speaking with the elders and things of that nature, first thing I was taught that there are different levels for you to graduate to, and they're cultural levels, and they learn in basically years of 7. So if you can actually walk with it from 0 to 7, you learn a particular type of skill set. It formulates your thoughts to going into what being a child is. Hold on, let me see what's going on. Yeah, I got that hard drum music in the back. Cut this down a little bit. Okay, so around 7 years old, you start to form your observations of what you're being told by your parents, your siblings, your older friends, your extended family, things of that nature. What is this community? Where do I fit in the smaller scale of the family structure, right? It's a quest, like we are to do, it's the quest that quest I on. I is the ego. I is your place in existence in this universe. So like when I like to start, I like to say, what's the chit chatter, earthly matter? Are you ready for Omega Sun's data? And I know,
I heard you on the wildfire fire. Where you been?
Well, I've been doing some things, studying, learning, traveling, getting myself together and getting my peoples together as a form of what I've learned in the coming of age. And I do want to play a clip that is very reactive and informative to this topic. If you see my hands move around a lot, I like to gesticulate. That means you're making justice as you speak. Okay? For those that like to, formulate new vernacular and vocabulary. And I did take down notes. That's what I do. Sorry. Rites of passage is a ceremony or a group of events that mark an important stage in life, from birth to a stage of growth to marriage and puberty, growth, marriage, eldership, responsibility to a certain interest. Let's say you want to get into a field of study, like warriors are to be are met with trial, same as basket makers, weavers, right? And we're going to talk about a couple of rituals and rites of passage that are in certain groups, clans, what people say tribes, What are the qualifying factors to have purpose in that community and also on the grand scale of life? Because there's some stuff that's out there that's being done now in their rituals that some may consider barbaric, but it actually has a formulating way so they can understand the true essence of life. This is really something else. And also how one is to accept transition when one goes to the essence. Right? This is not theory, these are all practices. These are from certain family clans, structured as tribes. And when I say tribes, right, you could think African tribe, Indian tribe, wherever you're talking about across the globe. But they're family structures and organizations and societies. Thank you, salute, welcome. Upon that, let's travel deeper. Have you ever heard of the Papua Guinea tribe? The Papua Guinea people? Well, there's a couple of things that they do for their young males, right? One thing that is done to 11 to maybe 14-year-old is the bullet ant ceremony. Okay? The bullet ant is one of the most poisonous insects in all the globe, and they just happen to have it located around their area. What they do is collect these bullet ants, drug them up in this 2-day ceremony. They actually drug the ant so it's in there placed strategically and meticulously in these makeshift gloves. And they're slept until the time of the ceremony, where they select a few of the younger members, the younger males coming into puberty, to actually bring themselves into manhood. Now, why you say, why such a young age and stuff like that? Because, first of all, the mortality rate is kind of small. So you're expected to jump into manhood, at a decent age where you can handle accountability and responsibility. Now, remember what I said about the elder that taught me about the 7-year stretches. From age 7, you learn a particular set of skills on how you develop yourself around your grouping. About 14 is your coming of age. For males and females, young women. And there's some barbaric stuff with them as well, but there's also some proving factors that make a girl into a woman without sexual validation. That's why I'm asking and posing the question, are rites of passage still needed? And do we see actual rites of passage to this day? 7, 14, more formative years. 21, where you're basically coming out of puberty into a higher form of field and study. What is your contribution to the village? What is your contribution to the community and the greater span of life? Because now you're speaking about bringing new family around. So if you haven't found it in yourself to have any accountability, respect for the essence of life, chances are you are not going to succeed well in the next stages of development into manhood. And that's where we're at right now in a lot of the Western traditions, because that accountability and responsibility is not being respected. Amongst elders, not everybody gets to speak. And elder is, like I said, we're going to go into this actually a rite of passage to be an elder. You can get older, but to have a selective voice, you would have to have gone through something to qualify to have say in the community, to set goals in the vibration and the growth of that grouping. That's why I kept it to the Sunspot spiritual page, so you can see that it's a natural progression, and it does affect the streets. So at 21, the male and the female finding their way into families, if they haven't already. The formulation of getting things together to build a new village if possible. By 28, you're basically entrenched in what family matters are, the inner workings. Now it's more into community molding and possibly nation building, because you have to be able to control your resources, be able to expand on those resources, and work and network with existing communities abroad. This is key. And it's already there. Like, all this information is already there for us to grasp and, basically build the scaffolding for our new process of getting things together within our own families and outward. The fact that people want to distract you from that shows there's no accountability, shows there's no responsibility. They couldn't care the least and would only react if something happened to their own. But that's another story. By the time you get from 35, you're going into the stages of a young or junior elders, what they, some people call OG, stuff like that. Old head and, pops, moms, not the aunties, the aunties, but not them being old yet. Old is a mental capacity. Old is a mind state, same way as young is. In what you cling to and what you gather with. All right, let me wheel you back into the bullet ceremony. These young kids, 11 to 14, stick their hands into the gloves. Then part of the ceremony, it goes long into the incantations, into speaking with the other older members of the group that went through it already, and even the elders that have been all the way through it and are just doing observation. Then these bullet ants start to sting, and I don't know. Let me see. What's the worst thing you probably had? Anybody ever had a spider bite? I never had a spider bite. Anybody had a bee sting? I mean, severe bee sting, a wasp sting, or something like that. We're talking about 10 times greater than that. Pain is excruciating, but you're not allowed to cry. Not allowed to run around the place. You're not allowed to start smacking your hands on things. No, you have to take the pain. You're like, why would somebody do that? Like, what? It's to formulate your place in the group. Test your pain scale, if you're able to take on what's necessary in this community. They cannot, if you cry, you're not considered passing that rite of passage. You have to start all over again. Just imagine, if anybody ever had a whooping before, right? Something simple, especially in our community. We get those, and some people get whaps and stuff like that. They running around holding their hands, and you cannot do that. It formulates a character a certain way where you have to respect those that came before you. Bottom line. Then you have to respect nature. You have to respect nature because there are things out there that's willing to get you that are extremely painful or even more painful that you have to be aware of, and that you have to make others around you in your peer group and outside of your group to be aware of, so we can coexist. Remember, this is at 11 to 14, formative years after 7. You've been training around that time. You're getting to learn the stories about it and stuff like that. And that's just Papua New Guinea. Fast, go up a little more into 18 to 21. They have another set of rites of passage. It's called land diving. I did want to Google it up, but I don't want to, change the pace up too much. I'll see if I can do that in a minute. But that one, they actually dive from these makeshift apparatus, almost like a natural hill, if you must, it's a natural scaffolding, and they have these vines attached to their legs. This is where bungee jumping came from, actually. And hopefully the vine has been measured properly, and they leap from the apparatus to the earth. And the earth has been dug out, so it's it simulates a soft landing, but you get the wrong measurement, you get hit hard. Even without the wrong measurement, you get the right measurement, you still got to get a slight yank. You would say, why does anybody go through that? For a reason. Let's see if I can get this up. Okay, switch it up a little bit. You say, why would anybody do that? It's to appreciate life. It's to appreciate life. Come on, drag on, drag on. They don't want me to win. They don't want me to win. There you go. It's to appreciate life. Also, to test your bravado, to test your courage, to challenge your fate, because there have been deaths in that practice. Okay, let's do something for the women, for the young women, the girls, and everything like that. I don't want to be too graphic, and I don't want to be careless with some of the topics, because there are, like I said, there are extremely insidious rites and passages that are out there, and those must be eradicated. I truly believe those must be eradicated. What they do to some of the girls to quote unquote make them a woman, or prove themselves to be womanly, very antiquated and upsetting. It shouldn't be done. But for the most part, let's talk about the Melanweli people. Melanweli, right? Where they have this thing where the women, the young women around, say, 13, 14 years old, have to get their teeth chiseled in points. Like almost every tooth as a fang comes to a point. It's supposed to be antiquated tradition. It is torture. It is torture, beloved. But it's their rites of passage in society, and also this is what they feel is a beautifying thing for them. It actually is taught that you would find a mate quicker if you do this practice. How sick for us. But it's their practice. And every tooth, they're drugged a little bit, and every tooth is shaved to a point. And in the bottom, it has to interlock with the top. They actually have these old these old files that they've made from the metal that they found around their village, and they actually doing it. Very little painkillers, blood all in the mouth, but now they're accepted. EP, you've seen that, right? Yes. And this is out here. So now I want to juxtapose, at least I gave you two already, right? I want to also, let me mention this too. For my Aboriginal, indigenous people like that, you got to be looking for the great wolf, the great bear, or the great eagle to qualify things, right? That's off top. Another thing is sweat lodges. If you've ever been or ever heard of a sweat lodge, ceremonies qualify the individual for the community that they're talking about. It gives you a seat at the table. And if you're talking outside of that, you do not know what you speak of. You should be quiet. I'm quiet around people that have been through these rituals and I haven't. And I've known people that have gone through those rituals, those traditions. That's not to say that their existence is any greater to go through those rituals. What makes them greater? What makes that wisdom hit a little different? And we have to acknowledge that. You have to go on through something in order to talk about it, right? Okay. Another one is the Mescalini Apache women, the young women that have to go through a 4-day creation dance. They have to have the creation story in a dance. 4 days, hot, the hottest time of the year. Little to no breaks. And what it features is the infancy, the puberty or the girlhood, the womanhood, and then the stages of death or transition. All in that creation story. Little to no water, little to no food. You have to stay up. The elders are around there, men and women. Yes, this one, they have the one for the teeth for the men as well, but for the women it's different because this is how they get selected in that society. For the men, it's more of a courage thing, but for the women, in order to be stamped in society to be proven, it's like the geisha women and the feet binding. Oh my God, this is feet binding. It's crazy. Because it's established of a pattern of beauty amongst that society. So the men and the groups are watching these women going through the creation story, and then on the height of the creation story, towards the end, they have to put this clay on their face, and it's supposed to like go for change and molding. And after they finish all of that, then they're accepted. And you say also, why is that? Let's get the children to say, oh, it's crazy. But after all that, you are finally accepted as a woman in that society, which unlocks different new things for you to do. You know, basket weaving, food prep, family building, family binding. You may get to make some calls in certain decisions amongst the women, you know, but it's still that matriarchal, you know, imbalance and stuff like that. That's been going on for centuries. I wouldn't say thousands of years, but I would be honest to say centuries. And like I said, a lot of this stuff is antiquated. It needs to be taken out because it seems to be barbaric. But something like that, it's a testing mechanism. It's a testing because there's standards to be met regardless. For you to exist with us, there's standards to be met. There's a certain way you're going to act around us. You know, first you get the grooming, then you get the ceremony to prove yourself. Now you have the qualifications to speak about what we do as a group and as a community. All right, in America, and this is what's going to lead to the clip that I'm about to play. In America, usually our rites of passage is what we do amongst each other. Like maybe our first bike ride. Remember, you can only go up and down the block. Then you get a chance to say, okay, you can go around the block. You go around the block, you start meeting new people, new neighbors, you know, new kids, and then you start going to 2 or 3 blocks over, meeting other people. And then now the group is getting bigger. So what do we do to, see who got the courage, who's skilled this way, who knows this, who is we start testing each other. We build a ramp. Everybody can make the ramp, and some people that can't make it, well, chances are they're going to be in the back of the group. Then you got the people like they know how to do tricks, and see if you can do tricks on this block, and then you're accepted in another group. See how that goes? So you can't be a faker. You can't be a faker. You have to prove yourself. You can't just talk it either. You got to do it. So that's what I'm saying. Is there a rites of passage available? You don't hear me. You don't hear me. Fighting. Back in the days, we would have slap boxing. Maybe we learned how to do a different move, tap the ground, come up with your shoulders. If you know how to, the 52s, and you was looking at your uncles and looking at your cousins. Even the girls would do this, because girls were going through their tomboy stages as well, and that got them some selection in place too. Yeah, all right, shorty's nice. She don't just do double dutch. She she rolling with us. Climbing trees and all that stuff. Like, it's just normal kid stuff. But it's also to prove yourself on the quest that you're on, quest die on, right? The challenges of life, and the respect for life too. That has decayed during time. The respect for life, and it's unfortunate. Because young people they're not just losing their life, they're not cherishing it well, with proper respect, so they can go on. And it's not every let's get that out of the way. Let's get that narrative. It's not every young person. There are many beautiful, bright, talented children out there. When I say children, everybody under the age of 17, and just giving and sharing type of people that love life and just want to learn and do better, and you have them in your family. Those are the ones you protect. You protect the ones that are doing crooked too, but they'll need a different type of guidance that should be offered through a rites of passage. Yes, allow the groups to be the groups that they are. There's a reason for that. And I'm going to play the clip. Let me doctor this up a little bit. Okay, they're going to clip right there. Boom. Let's get you in there, homie. Salute to everybody, you and your families, These weird times, I want you to be strong, walk strong, stay strong, all that. Let's see what my man's talking about, what we doing. Oh shoot, come on now. Don't play with me. Pull up on me. Come on, pull up on me. Any questions so far? Get yourself a cup of water or something. See if you can get that sea moss in your system. Okay. See, I might have to. Yeah, there you go. I might have to take that clip out and then put it back in, because it's a dope clip. Salute to, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Salute to Hocus 4/5. Salute to, let's go this way. Boom. Salute to Hocus 4/5. Salute to Shooter 9-3. They had an interesting conversation, about events taking place over the gram and over what's the joint? Clubhouse. Yeah, and people got questions, you know. People got questions, and it's also bringing up the rite of passage. Where my man's at? Oh, don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! You know what? I'm gonna give y'all a little intermission real quick. That's what I'm gonna do. If I can't find it right away, let's do this. Let's do this. Thank you for bearing with me. It's been a minute. Where my joint at? Space. No. No. Let's get into this. I know. Little intermission right there. Yes, get that sea moss in your body. 92 of the 102 nutrients that you need.
Why didn't you just lock the door? Why they had to put it?
Don't worry, Auntie, we're gonna shut this bitch down for
We're
you.
gonna shut this bitch down.
I'm sure you're aware that somebody got shot and killed.
Yes, sir.
Here today.
Yes, sir.
So, what we're doing right now is just making sure that this is a safe environment for the community. The actual shooter took it in and dressed the last night. What they were saying.
Ain't no deals being cut, bro.
Places want to remember that shit. They want to come out here with TV cameras out here. They want to come out here and shit sleep. This real shit, bro. We ain't have to know type of listen, nigga. This what the fuck we gotta do in our community, bro. The whole shit down for real. All that fake ass shit, bro. They can't open back up, bro. At the end of the day, that's just what it is. It's what it gotta be, and we gotta stick to that shit. So y'all come to this fucking store, bro. You're a part of the problem. But what we gotta do in this community, bro, start to set examples for our people. We can't continue to babysit buildings like this. Our people should know and fucking understand when something not right to not bring their ass up here and support these businesses. So what we not about to do is continue to fucking babysit our people. This store today is landmarked as a no-go. No-go. Nobody going to this bitch.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Look, I was a little shocked.
Let me know if you hear that.
This had the shock value. I was kind of like, what the fuck? But then I've looked at it like, yo, you know what? Reality is he said he's a civilian, but Whack is a civilian. You're in the you're a legal man, so you can do whatever you like. You ain't about the street rules. But he just gotta understand he can't play both sides of it. It's like, what the fuck is we doing?
So shooter, like, all right, let me say it like this. Like, I'm not, you see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Guns down, life up. I'm in the hood trying to get these kids to stop shooting each other. I'm not active like that no more on the streets.
Wait, 1 second. I'm glad you said that, Hope. I want to say one thing. I would say two things real quick, and then you're going to get right back to that. One, salutations for that. That's a powerful move. And that's the natural order of life. This is the second thing I wanted to get into with it. That's the natural order of life. When a kid is a kid, when we in our infancy stages of running around and doing whatever it is we're doing, we are only following the progression of a man, which is you're going to not know, you're going to go out and explore. You're going to have to learn some shit on your own. No matter what somebody's sitting there telling you, you're going to have to go out and do it on your own. So that's why some people choose to run the streets, do this, that, and the other. Yo? Damn, whole shit froze up. All right, I'll finish for y'all. So, you got people doing as kids doing this, and that, and the other, right? As you a kid. Then you go through a phase where you try to find yourself.
Breaking up, shooter. I don't know if you can hear me.
There you go. I hear you now. Now you good. Yo, so what's the last thing you heard me say?
I heard when you were saying about the progression of man. That's like the last.
So look, so as a kid, we out in the street, and that's just the natural progression of things. We learn it the hard way. No matter what somebody telling us that knows better around us, older, that may be telling us, yo, don't do this, don't do that. We still chose to go out and do whatever we did. And again, that's fine too, because that's on the longer path of finding oneself. right? Then once you get to a certain age, you're supposed to be pumping exactly what you're pumping right now, which is, this is exactly what's supposed to be going on. It's wrong. It's a retardation when you see it the other way, when you see somebody that's in our position at our stage in life and not speaking that way and promoting more negativity. Then that's when, hold on, what's going on? Like, hold on, now I got to look at you strange, because what the fuck is going on here? Like, you didn't go through the natural, at some point your growth retarded. You feel me? Like, your growth didn't reach its full potential because you stopped growing. And now you stuck at 25 mentally, but you 44.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's hard for you to understand the whole grasp, the whole, yo, we ain't gonna be doing the violence thing. I'm not gonna promote that to my peoples no more. Because I know, as being a man of 44 years old, that this ain't that.
Right.
Exactly.
So a lot of these dudes, I can't get behind the negativities. It's like negative. I don't really believe.
Boy, you're shaking like a stripper. Tighten up. I'm so disappointed in you to see.
Yeah. They ain't come all this way to be a bozo. They ain't come all this way to be a bozo. See how he said that? Like, you know what? You wait till you get a certain age to act like this. It's arrested development. It's arrested development. You know, like hit the glass or something if you like. I don't do that. But yeah, I got a little glass right there. A little glass right there. You know, goes with the elements of what's going on here. But this is why I wanted to bring this up to date to what we have now, where the rites of passage have become graduating, fighting. Some people shoot because they can't fight, or they just feel lazy, too lazy to fight, don't want to take the L. Jail. Some people think jail was a rite of passage. Yeah. Which brings on a whole new psychosis, you know, a whole new proving point, criteria sector, you know, who's really bidding and who ain't. You know, who's that dude and who was snail mail, you know what I mean? Snail time. A whole new thing opens for that. Military. Military has been a rite of passage for the longest. There was a time, of course, you know, if you know great-grandfathers or grandfathers that went on to the military, they were going at 14 years old sometimes. And for the women, the rites of passage have been changes into education, all right? More life improvement, how many children you can have. But none of this is community building, respect for the essence of life, purpose in life, you know, finding out where you fit in society. Very little of it is. You know, you have to fumble to make the mistakes, like Sheila was saying. You know, we basically had to, you know, move along and find out without even listening to what's going on, you know, just getting involved, you know, early, and then reflect on what we did, you know, if we're able to make it. But lots don't make it. And then those that never been through nothing got words. How? There's always something for somebody to do out there. That's the bottom line with that. There's a group around your area, whoever you are, you know, you may be trolling this one, that one, you may be doing all this goofy stuff. There's a point where you can turn around. There's a point where the bag is not worth it. The bag is not worth it. The build is worth it. You know, as black Americans in this society, we had the bag for a very long time. But we didn't build the institutions to grow the bag. No? Institutions is where you put your resources of the brightest and the best, and you get them to challenge themselves to grow those resources, to make new changes available through policy, through work ethic, through imagination, trying to figure things out. While we're talking earthly issues, right? There are people that are inclined to go to other planets. And I'm going to build on that on Fridays, which is the Future Flow Fridays that I have usually now. I've been off all of that for a minute. Why? Getting my mind right, getting my situations together, you know what I'm saying? And providing some quality infotainment. Yeah, it don't come cheap. I don't ask for much. Just attention, you know, not the attention that's addictive, but, you know, to challenge yourself, to ask yourself the question, have I set up some new traditions? Have I addressed accountability and responsibility amongst my own little circle so we can grow to the next level? You know what I mean? Just challenge yourself to do that. And then challenge others, because they may have arrested development, to stay stuck on the same type of operations for the last 5 years. Who does that? That's why I shut everything down. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it like this. Nope, we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to reinvest. I'm going to recreate. And I'm going to reproduce. You know, I gotta qualify to speak. You talk to people that have been to a certain level, and you get the understanding. Okay. Understanding, overstanding, understanding, outstanding. There's levels to this. They know you're not going to get perfection. You're going to get some missteps and mistakes. But we'll fall forward. We'll fail forward. Step back up and march even stronger. So I'm thankful to everybody that came out. Let's get to this positive progression. Hopefully you'll see this crazy face a little bit more. I'm gonna put you know, my feet to the task and everything like that. But in the soul of all this is building a nucleus, a true network of people that can actually move things. They said, you know, you have to have the faith of a mustard seed to move the mountain. You know, we don't have that type of strong faith without some quality and integrity, some accountability and some truthfulness. All right, I don't got to dog and drag everybody. I mean, we want to have some stuff we're going to drag about, but not the people that look like me or yourself. When there's a whole world of goofies out there we can get at, expose and, you know, get it popping. That's why I showed the new era, the new era clip. Salute the Big Z. You know what I'm saying? Because some people got time to play and they playing. There's really no time to play. But you know, we're gonna motivate and get busy. So thank you. Like, comment, share, talk about it amongst your circle and everything like that. And I salute you from crown to boot with love. Peace. Yeah, where's my intro?